There are just some times when you just have to do the thing. Because if you think about doing the thing anymore, you're not going to do the thing. And so I'm I might cry, just so you know, because I feel this well of emotional shit that's been bubbling up within me about this topic that I feel like if I don't say it, it's going to kill me. Now, I know that sounds dramatic, but I really believe that one of the things that's happening has been happening for women, is happening for me right now, is there are things that I've known since I was a little kid that I never trusted were true, accurate, right, provable. And so I've just kept my mouth shut because everything the majority of the things that I believe about what I'm going to say fly in the face of organized religion, societal paradigms, what it means to be a woman, what's really important, how we take our power back. And I'm exhausted. I've been exhausted for a while. I'm exhausted from holding it in. I'm exhausted from pretending. And it's just when you need tissue. Just, it's just so tired. I'm just so tired. I know so many women who are so tired. Just bear with me because I have to, I have to say these things that have impacted me my whole life and things that I've known. And who knows if I'll ever like put this up on my podcast. I just feel like I've been trapped. And where I've been trapped is knowing things inherently and being so afraid to talk about it because of like, judgment and being 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 called something. I don't know what the word is when you question when you question big paradigms that you are the human race, then I can't even. It's like I just can't. I can't. I'm like sacrificing my own well-being because I'm so afraid of the backlash or losing friends or look like a looking or sounding like I don't fucking know. I'm just tired. I'm just so tired. When you when you have things like this, which I will eventually share once I like pass through this emotional reaction. So thank you for sticking with me if you choose to stick with me. When it's something that's in you for so long and you are like taking a step to actually say the thing that needs to be said, and you're faced with like all of the worst case scenarios that could it's like it's like terror and liberation at the same time. And it's like I have these flashes in my mind right now of like my kid, because I just want the world to change for them. And I know that the only way that the world changes is if I open my fucking mouth and say the thing that goes against what, like, everyone, when I look out into the world, whether it be social media or my friends, when I say the thing that was gonna go against everything, I'm terrified of the backlash. I'm terrified. And I'm also so done with being part way here because I'm not honoring this part of what I believe to be true. When I hit pause, I can blow my nose and I'll be right back. Okay, so compose myself for the time being, for the moment. Um, so so fascinating because I'm like, like these just massive, like just these downloads, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to talk about this. I have to talk about this. And then I hit record and I'm like concerned about conciseness. It's already been 10 minutes. And all these, it's always like somebody's voices in my head. And the people whose voices are in my head are leadership trainers telling me that it's not in your leadership to be emotional. People who like, I just can't. I just, I just, I just can't. It's like living inside the confines of like societal rules, just rules about how you're supposed to lead and how you're supposed to communicate. And I'm just like, fuck off. Fuck, man, fuck off. Because how I'm supposed to is how I do. It's exhausting. I literally am exhausted. So I was 8 years old when my brother's best friend, who was 14, I woke up in the middle of the night with him on top of me. My only real memory from that was just making out with him um, in my bed in the middle of the night. He was sleeping over. That was the only thing I remember. Don't know if he touched me anywhere. I don't know. But what I do know is I had a massive crush on him. So that was very confusing. The next time a boy was inappropriate with me, it was a step cousin who was playing catch with me and kept throwing the ball at my crotch and asking me to spread my legs open more and more. And he would throw the ball right at my vagina. And then, of course, was when I lost my virginity at 15 to my boyfriend, who was 18 at the time, who I had been fending off for 6 months because I wasn't ready. I was scared. I didn't feel ready to have sex. And then the night that he just stopped listening to me say no, and I said, no, please stop, no, please stop the entire time. those three instances, along with, I'm really getting it. So I, 8 was the first one, and then my mom moved us when my parents split. She moved me and my brother, my sister, to Colorado. And no dad. And my brother, who I always felt safe with, was now gone. So I had no male figure, no one that felt like was there to protect me. And I felt like the most alone and the most scared that I've ever felt my entire life was at 9 years old. Went from this complete cohesive nuclear family to I'm now the oldest because my brother went to go live with his dad. And then I was the oldest to my younger brother and sister. My mom was now a full-time working single mom. And I felt petrified in the world. And so when I chose the boyfriend, I looked at him and I had an experience of something similar a couple years before, but I looked at him and he reminded me of my dad, like what they call a brick shit house. Stacked muscles, just strong, powerful, dominant alpha male energy, which is the energy of my dad, which made me feel really safe because I knew that no one was gonna fuck with me when my dad was around. And then I didn't have that feeling because he wasn't around. And so I felt scared all the time. And so I consciously decided to be tough. I consciously decided to be really strong. And I was really angry too. And there was an incident when I was like in like seventh grade, and there was this boy, and he looked like the Mexican version of my brother, like spitting image. So my brother, blonde hair, blue eyes. And this boy was like dark skin, brown hair, brown eyes, but looked exactly like my brother, like exactly. And this boy was in eighth grade and I was in seventh grade. And I just like I thought he was cute, but more than anything, he reminded me so much of my brother, and I just wanted to feel safe. And so I remember I said something to him one time and he was just a complete dick to me. So it was like this heartbreak of like, oh my God, I have this like pain in my chest because I miss my brother so much. And then there's this boy and like the heartbreak that women feel being unsafe in the world is like the worst feeling, especially if you have it. I can only speak to having had it and then losing it because I know what it feels like to feel safe and protected. And I didn't think I was gonna cry this much, you guys. I'm sorry, and I'm not sorry. And what it feels like to be a woman in the world is terrifying. And it's constant. Like, I had to just blow my nose. I'm so sorry. Stop apologizing for being. I'm gonna stop apologizing for being a deeply emotional human being because I really believe that's one of like my superpowers. It just sucks to like, you know, it doesn't suck to be witnessed. It really doesn't, but I am self-conscious about like, hey, get on with the story, right? So I have these like maybe they're not micro heartbreaks. They're felt awful. They felt massive. Um, it's just this hole in my heart that my brother and my dad were both not in my life anymore at 9 years old. 9 years old. And I felt unsafe in the world. And what I did with that lack of safety is I became an angry, ball busting, dominant, controlling, like, I don't want to say bitch. It was more, it wasn't bitchy. It was like aggressive, highly dominating masculine energy. And it served me in a lot of ways. It was rewarded in a lot of ways. I felt I was very competitive in sports. I was very like there's a level of resilience in me that's like, I'm not fucking going down. I'm not going down. Like literally over my dead body. I am resilient and confident and strong and also always scared. And I'm so exhausted from being scared. And I know so many women who are scared in the world, like just terrified to be in the world. We are acutely aware of how vulnerable we are and how much we need protection. Like, I crave protection. I feel like I need it. I desire it. I want to feel safe. Now, before those of you who want to like get on your whatever soapbox about like creating safety within, yes, I got it. Great. Gotcha. Fuck off for now. Just fuck off for now. Suspend your advice and coaching for me, please, because I'm making a larger point here. And the point is that the world has not been safe for women for my entire life. It's less so now. And also, as I was going through my divorce and really figuring out, like, so what, like, what was the thing? There's obviously there's not just one thing that ruins marriage, right? Like that ruins that relationship. And um, my kid's texting me. It's not just one thing or one person that ends a marriage. It's it's all of the stuff that we carry, right? It's all the stuff that we carry, the wounds that we carry over from childhood, like the ones that I'm explaining to you. So in 2020, I started doing work with my brilliant friend Christina Miglino inside of her mystery school of intuitive intelligence. It was lots of feminine, just lots of feminine work. I was with her for 2 years. And then I really started looking at, that was around the time that I started having conversations about with my ex about ending the marriage, and I was looking at all of the ways that I was just so hyper masculine in the relationship, and those are safety mechanisms. Those are ways of being for me that felt like I had some semblance of control. I'm not, hold on. Um, like safety mechanisms, ways of being that feel protective, ways of being that are in response to pain and fear. And so mine were the ways that I responded to feeling alone and afraid and unsafe is to just be masculine, to just be like, you do not want to fuck with me. Like my whole air was like, just just test me. Like test me and see what the fuck happens. Like I was like, I've tried to get into fights with dudes. Like that's the extent of like trying to fight guys. And so we decide to split, and I just obviously I want to know, okay, so what contributed to this? All the things I just shared, plus he had his shit that he brought in. Um, and then and then I realized how in my like dysfunctional masculine I had been and how much that ruined the relationship between me and my ex-husband. And it was from the start. I mean, it was from the start. He came in with his wounded feminine, like his whole like mother wound, the father wound. We're perfect for each other. And we would have been perfect for each other if we had both decided that we wanted to individually and then as a couple work on our shit. And that just wasn't the case. And then I started to get into um, wanting to have experiences with men to put me in positions to feel safe, to be, um, I don't want to say submissive because I don't really, I'm not really sure that that's my thing, but to feel safe, to be trusting, to be open, to allow, to receive. I mean, those are massive in and of themselves, let alone being submissive to someone. But I started to investigate ethical non-monogamy, and there's an app called Field at the time. This was in 2022. I started to explore ethical non-monogamy, specifically looking for a dom that could consciously help me work through some of these masculine wounds. Because I knew that unless and until I was willing to even attempt to be with a very masculine man, I had to look at my own wounding, which I did. And then I attempted to be in a dom sub relationship with three men before I actually figured it out. And the first one didn't go anywhere. The second one, I think he was just cheating on his wife or something. I don't even know. It was just lame. And then the third one was a complete catfish. It was fake profile. Then I got onto Field. So all of this was traditional dating apps like Bumble and Hinge. Then I got onto Field. It was very clear what kind of man I was looking for. And I knew he had to be masculine and dominant, but also emotionally intelligent. And I found someone, and his name is Adam, and he's still in my life. I met him in January of 2020, 2020. It's like 2.5 years, 2023. I'm pretty sure. I think it was 2023. And he created a space for me to break the fuck down like I just did whenever I needed to. And we're talking, I was going through all of the shit with my ex-husband. I was going through, I mean, all of the things with divorce. And this man just kept showing up. And I just kept thinking, oh, this time he's gonna leave. He's gonna be like, yeah, you're too much. This is too much emotion. Like, call me when you've got your shit together. Like you're just a fucking basket case. Like you're a wreck. And that's a story that I've had. Like my emotions are too deep. I feel too much. I express too much. I am too much. And this man was like, I fucking love it. And if you know anything about me, you know I love the pattern app and it's fucking amazing. And literally my like relationship astrology is like you need someone who loves the fact that you're fucking intense. And if that's not there, it's not going to work. And he provided that for me. First time in my 50 something years on the planet where I felt emotionally safe with the man and I knew that I could bring anything. And he wouldn't be like, why are you being so emotional? Why are you so hysterical? And he just kept saying to me, I got you. And he kept saying to me, you're going through a lot. This is a lot for a person to handle. Because he knew what was going, he knew my life. And he created an environment where I could fall apart with him. And I did multiple times, anytime I needed to. And he just kept saying, I got you. I got you. You want to know, guys, like for any man listening to this, saying the words, I got you to a woman and actually meaning it, like backing it up with, like, I'm not going anywhere. I got you, whatever, like whatever you need, like I'm holding you, even just emotionally, energetically, I've got you. Like, don't worry. It did something to my nervous system over the 2.5 years that, like, it's like I trusted him. Like, he proved himself to me. He did. He had me no matter what. And I was like, I have never in my life experienced this. Now, I went in looking for that. I went in asking for that, looking for that, requiring that in whoever the partner was going to be that I was doing this dom sub thing with. And we did some of that. We did some of that towards the beginning. But it was the emotional holding. It was the space that he held for me emotionally that made the biggest difference for me. And so the reason I'm telling you this is because if you're listening and you're a man, the greatest thing you can provide to a woman is safety. Hands down, the number one thing you can provide to a woman is safety. Now, safety could mean on all levels, physical safety. I want to feel safe knowing, like, if someone rolled up on me, my dude is fucking, I've got your back. I'd hate a motherfucker to even mess with me. And I had that feeling. Like, I was like, you do not want to mess with me because I got 6'5" over here. Like, he will end you. And I love that feeling. I love the feeling of being protected. But then it was also the emotional piece, emotionally holding me, no matter fucking what, no matter what. He's a Cancer, never been with a Cancer, deeply emotional as well. He understands my landscape. It was awesome. And so I just, over the last 2.5 years, have just healed so many of those wounds, so many of this kind of like I'm too muchness, especially in relationships. And I got to experience what it feels like to be gotten. I got you. I got you. And like I collapsed on that man multiple times. And I mean emotionally, physically, like all the things. And he held this space for me that I was coming out of a divorce. It wasn't his stuff, but he held it. Like, guys, we're mysterious creatures, but there's kind of a formula. And the formula is hold a powerful space for us to do this because this is what we do. We are cyclical. Women are cyclical in nature. Cycles every month, cycles throughout the month with, I mean, all the things. And the fact that he could do that and not judge me, I've never felt it before. It was literally healing to my nervous system. But here's what I want to, the whole thing that I wanted to talk about was sex and religion. Sex from the standpoint not of like the act of sex, but the sexuality and the creative power that women have through their sex energy. Now, I just got done watching the S Factor documentary on Netflix called Strip Down, Rise Up, or Rise Up, Strip Down. I don't know. Rise Up, Strip Down. Can't remember. Fucking Google it. Watch it. If you're a woman, I think this is a rite of passage. Every woman should watch this. Why? Is it about stripping? No. It's about the shame that women have been deeply conditioned to feel about their looks, their sexuality, their attractiveness, their body, the power that they have, like pussy power. And I say that because it's actually like a thing, pussy power, and the creative, powerful nature that women just have naturally. And I am going to say this. I don't feel safe with Christians, Catholics, Protestants. I don't feel safe with religion, any religion. And this is my judgment. Okay. I'm giving you full on admission that I am judging you because I believe you are judging me. The thing that has kept me quiet about this thing called female empowerment, which happens through our fucking pussy, not our sex, it's through that portal. And and the amount of shame that a woman feels for her sexuality, and I'll just talk about myself. I started masturbating at like, I don't know, 12. I didn't get my period until I was almost 15 years old. I was a late bloomer, but I was masturbating a lot and feeling a lot of shame and wondering why I was doing this. And I felt dirty and wrong. And I had to hide it. And I did it all the time. And then I became kind of obsessed about it. And then I would sneak away and figure out ways that I could do it. And all of that shame and secrecy led to more shame. So when we hide things, when I hide, I believe that you judge me based on what you believe religiously, and I'm judging you for your beliefs because I believe you're judging me. I hide. And it's secrecy and shame that keeps secrecy in place. Like, think about it this way. If you have a desire or you have something that you want, let's just talk about like sexuality. Let's say you're a man and you're secretly attracted to other men, but you could never admit that because out in our culture, that means all kinds of things. And it would mean something. Like you'd have to admit all kinds of things. So you hide that. Do you think that doesn't go anywhere? It absolutely, like, it generates within you, and the amount of energy that it takes for us to hold in secrets is mind-boggling. That's why I cried at the very beginning of this recording because it felt like this geyser, this like thing had opened up, and I was just like, I'm about to confess. I'm about to confess. Why? Because I believe secrets are literally robbing us of life force energy, joy, and purpose. And what I want people who are religious, and I'm using this in a very broad term, people who are religious, I believe that you look at the Bible and you believe that shit that they talk about with women. Like Eve ate the apple and tempted Adam. No one talks about Adam taking an action. It all starts with Eve. When you talk about Jesus was born, he was born to a woman who was a virgin. How is that even fucking possible? How come no one's talking about the Virgin Mary? How come no one's talking about the miracle of the woman who birthed Jesus? So in my mind, I'm like, why is this fucking why is this paradigm? And listen, I'm not talking about whether or not Jesus Christ was like a good guy, like a good person. Y'all believe what you want to believe. I've never believed any of it. What does that make me? I don't know. If you don't want to be friends with me because I don't believe I'm going to hell and I believe my pleasure center, my sex center is where all my power is. And if you actually want to know what I mean by that, just ask me. Women have been so shamed about their bodies, about everything, about having periods. You know that period blood has stem cells in it. It's life affirming. It literally makes life. But women have been, it's infuriating to me. And because I feel this pressure of secrecy and this pressure of secret, I don't want anyone to know about my sexual past. I don't really actually care. The only reason I would care is because I believe you will judge me. And I have really good friends who are Christians. My entire fucking Facebook feed right now is talking about new age women who need to be saved by Christianity. I want to vomit. I want to vomit. Do you want to know why I want to vomit? It's not that what I believe, it's not that I believe that you're wrong. It's that I believe that you believing you're right is what's wrong. Because listen, I believe what I believe is right, but I would never in a million fucking years tell you that my rightness needs to be your rightness. Ever. That's the problem. The problem is you believe Jesus is the way, right? Otherwise you wouldn't be a Christian. And I've grappled with this, I mean, more times than I can count. Maybe it is Jesus. Maybe it is Jesus. And you know what? Maybe it fucking is. But want to know what's keeping me from Jesus? If he in fact is the way, the righteousness about it. Because what about Buddhism? What about Hinduism? What about every single faith before Christianity? What about it? What about my personal beliefs? I'm like, I don't really believe a lot of that shit that's in the Bible. Sorry. Why? Man wrote it. God didn't write it. Men, not even women, men wrote the Bible. I've had an inherent problem with it from the time I was 7 in Catholic school. And for those of you being like, oh yeah, Catholics are really fucked up. Y'all are fucked up. Every single one of you, because you think you're right. I believe what I believe, but I would never fucking say I'm right about it. Ever. And the righteousness is the problem. So I fear I will lose friends by taking the stand, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Let me ask you this question. If you being right about your belief, not that something that you can prove, it's all based on faith, it's all based on what you've read in the Bible. If you believe that you're right about that, something that you believe that it's right, it's the only way to have a relationship with God, then you wouldn't want to be friends with me because I don't believe that. And you're not going to change my mind. Now, I could maybe change my mind. I'm open to it. But it's never going to be because you're trying to get me to see a certain way. You'd have to be just as willing for me to convince you that the opposite is true or that that's not true. And I don't think that you are. So I might lose there. I mean, I live in like in Arizona alone. It's like, I swear everybody, you throw a rock and you're hitting a Christian. And then there's Mormons and there's no judgment. Like you're going to fucking believe what you want to believe. Just don't crucify me about mine. It's all I care about. Like the problems that we see out in the world aren't because people are sinning. Sin isn't the fucking problem. Righteousness is. Just gnaw on that for a minute. And you would have to question the very tenets of your beliefs in order to even hear me. And I get that. I absolutely get that. But until and unless you can actually consider that what I'm saying is it could be true. Why? Because anything could be true, and we don't know. We literally don't know. We have zero clue. Zero. So I'm I'm saying this because it's always in my space. I go to like post something on Instagram and I'm like, my Christian friends are going to be like, what the fuck what are you talking about? Pussy power and and I'm just going to say this, the last thing I'm going to say, because my kid's about to be home and I got to clean up myself and look like I don't even care. I can tell it. This has been a thing. I posted something, a provocative video of me on a chair, like kind of just like feeling, was topless, but I was facing away from the camera. So it was just my back and I was in underwear. And I don't have two shits about that. I don't. Because if I can't express myself through my body in a way that's like, I want to show you what it looks like for a woman to be in her body, feeling her power, getting really connected. If I can't show that, we shouldn't be friends. And I lost 10 followers from that video. But what happened was my worst fear, which is one of my daughters. Now, listen, let me just also tell you this. My kids' Instagram accounts are locked down for content. They can't see content that might be not appropriate for kids because I lock their profiles down so they can't see that shit. Now, other kids, their parents don't do that. They can see the shit. So some of her friends saw my stuff and it went around her friend group and she was mortified. So I pulled it down and I sobbed my like fucking eyes out. I was so mad. And I was mad because of a couple of things. I don't need her friends to see me gyrating on my one of the friends was like, "What's Reese's mom doing twerking on a chair on Instagram?" So, right? Like this is what kids want to do. But boys, I want to tell you something. Like if you're a boy and you're listening to this or you have sons and you're listening to this, you all need to stop shaming women. And girls, you fucking better stop shaming each other. This is such an epidemic that I'm 54 years old and I still am fucking dealing with it. And so my whole point is the power of women is in our creation. We literally create life. I could just put a period right there. But see, we've grown up inside of a male paradigm that says you're not as good as we are. And that's changing. I see it changing. I feel it changing. But we were still conditioned in there. So it's a lot of deconditioning. It's a lot of like breaking down of like, what are people going to think of me? Oh my God, I'm a slut. I'm a, blah. Do you know how sexual I am? It's fucking nuts how sexual I am. And I turn myself on. This has nothing to do. Like, I think about creating something and putting it out in the world, and I have to go masturbate because I'm so turned on by it. It's so coming through my body, and my body is so alive, and I'm so connected to it that that's just a part of my self-expression. And because that is a something that you don't know about me, it limits my ability to actually manifest in the world because I'm worried about what you're going to find out. The more women that I can free to not be worried about their freak, and when I say their freak, I mean, what's your jam? Like, what do you love? How do you want to experience life coursing through your body? Is it sex? Is it dance? Is it art? Is it, like, is it business? Is it babies? Is it, I don't, is it dance? I mean, like, what is it? Because you can do that. But we have to get through all of this fucked up programming about piety and purity and fucking being a good. I'm done. Literally, I'm done. I've outgrown it. Like I'm shedding the skin. And the safest place for me to do this is my podcast. It feels like the safest place for me to do it. I highly doubt any of my daughter's friends. First of all, I'm not gyrating. I will share that video somewhere because I took it off of Facebook. I took it off of Instagram and I locked my whole shit up. I fucking archived it. I was so mad. But I'm actually going to put content like this over on Substack. And is that what it's called? Substack? I think it is. Anyway, I just got like found out about what the fuck Substack is. All right, so my coming out is I'm highly sexual. I desire to have sexual experiences that are not traditional, and I want to experience life coursing through me in those ways. In those ways. And it isn't just about sex because when I'm connected to these centers, I create magic out in the world. And I want to connect more women to their sacral sex center because it's their center of creativity. It's also their center, it's also our center of receptivity and magnetism. And I don't mean this as like from a sex place. I mean this like when I feel threatened out in the world, do you think that I'm going to be receptive to a man coming up to me? No, I'm going to be closed off. I'm going to be guarded and I'm not going to be receptive. Well, closed off and guarded, that includes opportunities, that includes money, that includes impact. So my sex center is the source of my creativity. My creativity is the source of my abundance. And I have had a visceral, full body experience of this. And I am really excited to actually share this with the world because we need to be liberated. Women need to be liberated. And the one way that we are enslaved right now is through sexual body beauty shame. Put an adjective on it, but it's shame. And when we're shamed and when we're wrong and when we're all the things, what do? We hide. We cover up. We shove our secrets in the closet. I'm done. I'm done. So the freak flag is about to start waving. I will lose friends. That is okay. I know that I will lose friends because that my friends will probably not want their kids to be friends with my kids. It's going to be a whole thing. I have a really, really good friend, Carrie Skrdla, whose dad was, in the marches with Martin Luther King Jr. And he was a preacher when she was growing up. And she goes, we took fire for what he was doing out in the world. And I am committed to liberate women. I am literally fucking out of my mind committed to changing the landscape of what it looks like for women in the world. Why? Because we deserve it. And because I have two daughters and I'm not going to leave them a world like I had to grow up in. So if you're interested in this movement that I'm creating, my next offering is going to be a very, very deep dive retreat for women to help them come out of that kind of toxic, overdriven masculine energy and come back into their body. And I'm going to do it over a 7 day, very deep dive, very luxurious retreat. And we're going to recalibrate your nervous system and we're going to do some embodied movement work and we're going to get you reconnected to your sex center. Because I know for an unequivocally, I know that women who are turned on, who feel safe enough to be turned on, will create magic and miracles in the world. And there you go. There's my freak flag. So for those of you who are Christians and think I'm going to go to hell, or you're just Christians and you just think I'm wrong, you're free to think that. You really are, because I'm not judging you for thinking that. My judgment comes from feeling judged. My judgment comes from feeling like, well, if this is the only way, then anything outside of that is not the way and is wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, and we can have a conversation with it about it because I'm down for that shit. I'm open. Thank you for if you've listened this long, thank you. I'll probably will have some links. I know that this will be up on YouTube, but I'll probably have some links in here so that if you wanted to get involved with what I'm creating next, just contact me. Let me know because I'm creating a movement. I'm creating a movement, and it's just to empower women to be fully, wholly, all of themselves. All right. Whoo, I feel like I need a cigarette, but I don't smoke, or I need a nap, or I need a sandwich. I don't know. But I appreciate you listening. If you've listened this much or listened this for this long, I appreciate it. And thank you. Appreciate it. And I'll talk to you soon.